Hello, this is Adin Smith from SiliconValleyFit.com, and today I'd like to bring it to your attention that it's estimated 15% of white Americans, 70% of black Americans, 90% of Asian Americans, and nearly all Native Americans have a problem digesting lactose. What's lactose? It's a sugar found in milk. Now, statistically, many of you have a problem with this. So what are the symptoms? Gas, bloating, diarrhea, fogginess, headaches, the list goes on after that. If you're suspect and you have those symptoms, it's a good idea to rule dairy out by doing an elimination diet. I have all my clients that suspect a particular food that's causing some of these gastrointestinal symptoms or fatigue symptoms, whatever they may be, to go through a 7-day elimination diet where there's none of that food in there. Okay, in this case we're talking about dairy, so you'd eliminate that, and on day 8 what you would do is reintroduce a small amount of dairy with each meal that you eat. On days 9, 10, and 11 I'm going to have you go back to excluding dairy because you're waiting for what's called a delayed immune response, and that's a 3-day response time where you're going to be watching your body and aware of some of the symptoms that may come up. Typically after that 3rd day they drop off or completely go away. Now, so for those of you who have mild symptoms from this, you may be able to simply eat some probiotics or ingest some probiotics or eat yogurt and kefir as opposed to milk and be fine. So you might only have to just eliminate milk. So the reason why most people can digest yogurt and kefir better is because they have some live cultures in there which are known as probiotics. So what you can do is, if you're drinking pure milk, you can take a probiotic at the same time. What probiotics do and what live cultures do is they produce lactase. So lactase, first of all, lactose can only be digested through the aid of lactase. That's very important. Let me repeat that. Lactose only can become digested through the aid of lactase. So the healthy flora, the healthy bacteria in your intestines will produce lactase. Unfortunately, after the age of 2, what happens is your lactase production goes down. Now, for some of you, it goes down quicker than others. So theoretically, you could hit 20 and all of a sudden have issues with lactose. You could hit 30, you could hit 50. So just because you've never had a problem with it doesn't mean that it's not going to show up down the line, and if it does, you'll know what to do because you're watching this video here. So another thing you can do is, I don't personally do this, but you can ingest raw milk, because the pasteurization process, you know, all the commercial yogurts and dairy products are pasteurized, so they heat up those products anywhere between 135 and 165 degrees, right? So it kills off a lot of things. So raw milk, or basically yogurts and kefir, are produced from pasteurized milk. So if you have yogurt and kefir from raw milk or plain milk that's raw, or goat's milk, they're going to have a lot more of the live cultures in them. I don't know about you, but I've heard that tuberculosis is not all that fun to have. So I eliminate it from my diet personally. Plus, I don't like to test out my health insurance. I'd rather not do that. So my view is a little strong there. Can you reduce the risk by researching the farm, the cleanliness, the way they do it? Yes, but for me, why take the risk? Another thing you should know is that the more you can have a healthy gut, So only about 15% of your gut should be bad bacteria. Okay, so the other 85% should be good bacteria, optimally speaking. Okay, so you can take probiotics. I take a probiotic every day, and I rotate the brands because they have different strains of them, and some strains work better than others. But also you can increase your consumption of fermented foods. So some examples of fermented foods are sauerkraut, kimchi, and natto. Those all have live bacteria that are not killed off by a process like pasteurization, and can help increase the number of healthy bacteria in your gut, and can in turn help you digest lactose. So in a nutshell, you've got a good understanding of how the body works with the absorption of lactose, how to test for a sensitivity to dairy products. Although if you test positive for that elimination diet, you may want to escalate it. There's 3 tests you can do. The breath test, from what I understand, is the best one. You can do a blood test. You can also do a genetic test for milk now as well. So, if you're not completely sold on the elimination, you can always do that, or even double coverage if you're anything like myself and want to know, really for sure if I can have this product or not. So hopefully you enjoyed it, and for other rich articles and videos, you can always go to siliconvalleyfit.com.